In this video, we will focus on the urban environment. Why? Cities can be considered one of the primary sources of microplastics, since almost all activities involving plastic and microplastics are concentrated in cities. Either these are different categories of industrial plants, or we are also talking about the high density and frequency of traffic and transport. There are also a lot of building structures and a lot of people on site. Consequently, we have a lot of plastic flow in terms of packaging and similar. We know that today the vast majority of people also live in cities. There is information that more than half of the entire world's population lives in urban environments, and many of these are also in larger urban agglomerations, which we call megacities. These are also cities with suburbs where more than 10 million people live. Population growth has been increasing exponentially in recent decades, and it is estimated that the number will reach 9 billion in the middle of the 21st century. As a result, with population growth, cities also expand and develop, thus, pollution of the environment occurs. If we look at the growing trend of those megacities, we see that at the end of the 20th century, that is, in 1990, there were only 10 such megacities, but in 2014 there were already 28. It was estimated that in those 28 cities lived as much as 12% of all world population. The latest data is from 2020, which states that there are already 34 megacities. Projections, however, indicate that this trend will continue to rise and somehow estimate that in 2030 we will exceed the number of 40. On this graph, it is very nice to see how the share of the urban population is increasing, and it is, of course, logical that with this development of life and the increase of all activities in urban environments, environmental issues related to specialized environments also increase. The fact is that urban environments are an essential source of microplastics due to the amount of anthropogenic or human activities. A critical starting point in dealing with the issue is that we have several diverse and dispersed sources of plastics and microplastics in urban environments. We can find such particles in various media like water, soil, sediments, sewage sludge, and even the air. In the following videos, we will get to know different sources of microplastics in urban environments, and go over the most important, most common, but not always the most recognized ones.